It was a game that seemed like it would never end. The bullpen kept putting up zeros, and the offense clawed their way back into it. But eventually, the Royals took advantage of one scoring opportunity to sneak away with the win in 14 innings. Today, the Indians and the Royals close their season series next, so put on your dancing shoes. We're coming back at you on Sports Time Ohio. From Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, it's Indians baseball today. The Tribe tries to win a series against the Kansas City Royals. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. A season ago, Asdrubal Cabrera, without question in my mind, was the Indians' best player. He had a career year, and I remember you telling me even back in spring training, you can't expect Cabrera to equal those numbers or even improve upon those numbers coming into this year. Well, he hasn't, but he has still been one of their best players.
He's been a very consistent player for the Indians and will continue to be. He's a great shortstop. He makes every play around. He has had a rough year as far as errors go, and some of them were nonchalant. But Cabrera, for the second straight year, has had a down second half, and that's one thing you have to be concerned about. He is one of the better players. He can hit from both sides of the plate. He's very good in the clutch. But with the Indians, they have to surround him, I think, with a good RBI man. He can fit into the number 2 hole, the number 3 hole. It doesn't matter. He's in the top 3 spots in that lineup. And overall, he's had a very good year. 67 runs scored, 64 ribbies, 15 home runs, and he's been out there for the most part every day.
That's a great point. If the Indians can find a proven veteran hitter to add to this lineup next year, it's going to make Asdrubal Cabrera even better. Let's take a look at our Nissan Road Ahead pitching matchup. Zach McAllister will go for the Tribe today.
And Zach McAllister needs a win badly. You got to go back to August 11th before his last win. So he went out in his last start, pitched very good against the White Sox. He was a victim of tough luck. They gave up a 3-run home run to that guy right there, Adam Dunn, and he had a no decision in the ball game. So for Zach, he'd like to end his year on a win, and hopefully he can. He'll be matched up against Luke Hoshaver. Against the Indians this year, 2-1. That one loss, they got him at home very early, and they got 7 runs very early.
Get to a Nissan dealer for special offers on innovation that excites. Indians and the Royals wrapping it up here this afternoon. We're back with all the play-by-play action coming up next. Well, it's turned out to be a beautiful day here at Progressive Field where the Indians and the Kansas City Royals wrap up this 3-game series. Rain this morning, but it's moved out. Light breeze blowing in from center field. And on the hill for the Tribe is Zach McAllister. Let's look at the lineup he'll face today for Ned Yost's Kansas City Royals, brought to you by Kia. Gerard Dyson will DH and lead it off. Then it's Irving Falou, followed by Alex Gordon. Billy Butler, Salvador Perez, and Mike Moustakas, followed by Jeff Francoeur, David Lowe, and Tony Abreu.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers for starting pitcher Zach McAllister, who is 5-8, trying to get that win in his last start. As I mentioned, he hasn't had one since August 11th, and He pitched a good game in his last start against the White Sox, so hopefully he can come out. He's got that good four-seam fastball, mix in that breaking ball with him, and also the changeup. He is 0-1 this year against the Kansas City Royals. He went 6 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. Let's set the defense behind him today. In the afternoon, it looks like this. Donald in left, Lillibridge in center, Chu is in right. Hanahan at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis at second, Kochman at first with Lou Marson doing the catching.
John Tumpain will call the balls and strikes. The crew chief, Tim McClellan, is at first. Marvin Hudson at second, and Toby Bassner is at third. And we're underway. It's a first pitch strike from Zach McAllister to Gerard Dyson. Dyson getting his first action in the series. Came on as a pinch runner, but in his first at bat, he lines one toward left. And in to make the catch is Jason Donald, who's back in the lineup today for the Indians. Missed time after being drilled by a Justin Verlander fastball. And
he's missed almost 2 weeks.
Sandy Alomar wanted to give Michael Brantley one more day, so expecting to see him back in the lineup tomorrow against the Chicago White Sox. Brantley was able to come in late in last night's game. And Irving Falou takes a strike. 2 for 6 in the series with a double. And that's fouled right back. Missed inside. 1-2 the kill.
Falou again playing shortstop. Escobar out with a shoulder injury, as well as Eric Hosmer. They both injured their shoulder in Detroit before coming here.
Yeah. The 2-2. Right back to the mound. McAllister grabs it. And a quick flip for out number 2. Part of Fan Appreciation Week here at Progressive Field, and players out before the game, tossing soft baseballs into the crowd. Alex Gordon will step in with 2 down, nobody on base. He is gone 3 for 8 in the series. And he hits a one-hopper on the quickly to Cabrera, and on 9 pitches, McAllister sets the Royals down 1-2-3. All right, bottom of the first. Indians coming to bat. Tribe starting 9, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Chu, Kipnis, Cabrera, Chisenhall, Hanahan, and Lillibridge. Then Kochman, Marson, and Donald.
Luke Hochevar making the start. His 32nd, which is a career high for him. His 14th start in his career against the Indians and his 4th this year. He is 8-15, a .543 earned run average, and he's been, very inconsistent, up and down. He's had some very good games, and then he's had 10 games that have really knocked that ERA out of kilter.
And Hochevar's first pitch is down and in for ball 1. Might have chased a ball there, and it's 1-1. And a chopper foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. And in his career against the Indians, you see their Shin-Soo Choo has had great success. Cabrera, Hanahan, Kochman, and overall the lineup, a .367 average. So that should bode well for the Tribe today.
You would think so. The numbers certainly favor the Tribe.
Chopper off the plate. Butler makes the play and then the tag for out number 1. Boy, that ball took a wild hop on him, almost skipped past him.
Take a look at the Home Depot Royals defense behind Hochevar this afternoon. Gordon in left, Lowe in center, Frank Coor in right. It's Moustakas at third, Falou at short. Abreu at second, Butler is at first with Perez behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Jason Kipnis taking a strike. And he shoots it right back, 0-2. And he strikes him out. 2 down. And Jason Kipnis just 1 for 10 now in this series against Kansas City pitching.
Cabrera came into last night's ball game late. End up in the rotation today. Michael Brantley was another one, but Michael not in there today. A couple guys that a little banged up.
That's outside for Struble. Cabrera 1 for 4 with a double, came in late in the ball game as a pinch hitter, and as the game wore on, a lot of guys ended up with the kind of at-bats that you would normally get if you started a game.
Yeah. Well, 14-inning marathon yesterday. What were there, 18 different pitchers used?
18 pitchers. Each team used 9 pitchers in last night's ball game. Cabrera had a 2-run double that tied the game for the Indians, but that was one of the few highlights for the Indians offensively when you consider how many guys they stranded on base. As Cabrera bounces one towards second, Abreu showing good range to flag it down and throw him out. Each team goes 1, 2, 3 in the first. No score.
Baseball is brought to you by McDonald's Cherry Berry Chiller. Cherry and raspberry flavors blended with ice and 100% fruit juice. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers.
Second inning, no score. Billy Butler, Salvador Perez, Mike Moustakas due up for Kansas City. And Butler takes a strike. It's quickly 0-2. League leaders brought to you by your Cleveland Akron area Lexus dealers. Billy Butler third in the American League in hits. His teammate Alex Gordon right behind him.
Well, this Kansas City team, they have some young hitters that can play. I mean, Hosmer, a guy that's not playing in this series and not having a year like they thought he was going to have, still a good offensive player. They can score runs.
No, Alcides Escobar hitting .289, another good young player who's emerged offensively. They knew he could play defense, but his bat has come along, I think, even quicker than they thought it would. The 2-2. Butler, a chopper, slowly hit to short, and Asdrubal Cabrera slings it over, one away.
Well, come on out and spend some time with the Indians next spring in Arizona. You can get a week-long trip or even a weekend getaway and get tickets. Come on out and watch the Indians in spring training. Call 216-420-HITS for the details.
Salvador Perez, 4 for 8 so far in the series. And a base hit to center field for the Royals catcher, his 5th hit in 9 at-bats in this series.
Well, started them off fastball, kept his hands back enough to get this breaking ball away and just served it into center field. So that's a pretty good job of hitting by Perez. That ball was down and away, probably off the plate and not a strike. Good pitch. Better job of hitting right there, just to put it in play, and he gets a base hit.
Now Mike Moustakas, the Royals' third baseman. Last night, a couple other interesting notes. In the 14-inning affair, the two teams combined for 478 pitches in the game, 351 of which were thrown by the bullpens.
Well, yeah, the starters were terrible by both teams.
High pop. Back goes Hanahan and Cabrera as Asdrubal calls him off. 2 down.
Well, we had, almost 400 pitches that last game we were in Chicago, and it was only 9 innings. They had 12 walks.
3 hour and 44-minute game.
Yeah.
That was another one. Well, the Indians had, 12 walks in that game?
Yes, they walked 12 times, and the Indians pitching walked 6 White Sox, so there was 18 total.
Jeff Francoeur, 2 for 10 in the series. His 2 hits, both big ones, a double and a homer. Close pitch, didn't get the call. It's 2-0.
Francoeur, guy this year, you never know what's going to happen with him over there because he's signed for another year. But he could be out there on the trading block. They're looking for pitching. They've got a good young outfielder that they want to move up the ladder.
Jeff Francoeur sends one high in the air to left where Donald makes the catch. Man, the inning is over. So, middle of the second, we are scoreless in Cleveland. No score, bottom of the second inning. 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up for the Tribe. Lonnie Chisenhall, Jack Hanahan, Brent Lillibridge. Lonnie Chisenhall is having a splendid series. He is 6 for 12 with 2 doubles. Batting in that cleanup spot, and Sandy Alomar says, I think this guy has that kind of potential in his future to be a middle-of-the-order hitter, and I want to bat him in the 4 spot, give him the confidence that I believe in him. Chisenhall rewarding him so far. Ball inside to Chisenhall. The unfortunate thing for Lonnie is he missed so much time this year suffering that fractured forearm when he was hit by a pitch. Lonnie sends one high and deep but foul down the right side. I mean, unless something really unforeseen happens, you would have to believe Chisenhall is the everyday third baseman next year.
I wouldn't see why not. He would have been probably this year had not. He got hit in the arm by that pitch off the left-hander.
He was moving towards taking over that role, no doubt about it. I mean, Jack Hanahan started the season as the Indians' everyday third baseman. And Jack back in the lineup today. Lonnie DHing, Hanahan getting the start at third.
Well, it's going to be Chisenhall's time. There's no question about it. It's time. He's got nothing to prove down below. You got to look at him up here, and he's either going to make it or not.
And with regards to Jack Hanahan, he's been terrific defensively. He's been a good teammate. I think he's worked well with the young players. He's helped some of the younger guys.
Well, there's no saying he won't come back because he's filled in at shortstop too this year. And the other guys you have here you're looking at, when you look at Lillibridge and Donald, they haven't filled in at short very well either.
Second strikeout for Hochevar. I agree with that. I mean, I think there's a case to be made for a guy like Jack Hanahan, who certainly at this point in his career knows what it would take to come off the bench and be a part-time player. Luke Hochevar delivers a first pitch strike. There are some in the Kansas City camp that feel like this might be it for Luke Hochevar. They certainly, have had high hopes for him that it never really quite panned out to this point. That's blooped towards center. That's dropping in a hurry, and it's going to get down for a base hit. Jack Hanahan has the Indians' first knock of the day. It's a one-out hit here in the second inning.
Well, he was the first overall pick. Hochevar was back in 2006 for these guys, so he's been there 6 years.
But service time wise, I don't think he's eligible for free agency at the end of the year. He'll be close, but I don't.
Right.
Think, but still, his, as far as what they owe him, what they've signed him, he's signed through this season. Now they still, I think, control him for next year. But they might be thinking it's time to move on and try something different.
Well, he was, when they traded Zach Greinke, he was the one that was going to step up and take over the role up in the top couple of spots. But, hey, we found that out. Just because they think you can pitch and you're going to be pushed up into the, upper end of the rotation doesn't necessarily mean you're going to cut it. We've seen the same thing with Masterson and Jimenez.
I suppose, from other teams, the outside looking in view at a guy like Hochevar, you wonder what a change of scenery would do for him without all of the expectations. And we know that sometimes is a very cumbersome thing for young players. Hey, you're the number one. You're the number one pick. Now you're the guy. You're the ace.
Yeah.
Not everybody handles it well. Brent Lillibridge pops it up. Back goes Falou, fighting the sun. Called off by Lowe in the Gordon, who makes the catch. He fired a seed back to first, but Hanahan alertly back to the bag. 2 down. Let's check in with Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, 2013 season tickets are available right now. You can get more information by calling 216-420-HITS. If you're going to get them, make sure to take advantage of Tribe Rewards. It's a new program for you that gives you points to use however you want. Matt, Rick, back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Katie. Casey Kochman will step in. Kochman trying to snap an 0 for 10 skid. He had a couple of chances to be the hero last night. Grounded out in the 10th with a runner at second base and 2 down, then hit into a double play with first and third and only 1 out in the 12th. And that was the thing about last night. We talked about the Indians leaving 20 men on base, but 15 of the 20 were left in scoring position.
Opportunity was there all night long to come back and push them across the plate. They just couldn't do it. Yes, he did.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Kochman bloops one towards center. That's going to drop. Hanahan around second, on his way to third, and he'll go in standing. So a couple of bloop singles here in the second, and the Indians have him at first and third with 2 down.
Well, whatever it takes. They're playing deeper. They're a couple bloops.
Take a look at our AT&T trivia question today. Name the only pitcher to lead the American League in saves in 4 consecutive seasons. We'll have the answer to that coming up later in the game. Down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Too high, 2-1 to count. Marson had a nice little offensive run when he hit in a career-high 9 straight games, late June to mid-July. But since then, he has 12 hits in his last 88 at-bats. Takes a called strike. It's 2-2. 2 on, 2 out here in inning 2. No score. Jack Hanahan, the runner at third. Casey Kochman at first. Line drive, base hit, right field. Lou Marson with the 2-out RBI hit. Kochman stumbled around the bag at second, and he went down to the dirt, quickly scampered back to safety at second base, but scoring easily, Jack Hanahan, and the Indians draw first blood, lead it 1-0.
Well, they got a hit with a runner in scoring position. You got to love it. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. A 2-out base hit, mind you. He got a fastball, a 2-seamer. That was coming down and in, and he serves it out to right field. So 3 singles in the inning, and the Indians take the lead 1-0. Marson, his 13th RBI on the year. Hanahan crosses the dish.
And 2 on, 2 out now for Jason Donald. Pops the first pitch up. Right field, Frank Coor makes the catch. Well, the Indians are run on 3 hits, 2 men left aboard. Through 2, it's the Indians 1 and the Royals nothing. Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one here today to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Well, the Indians on top here. They've scored first in 5 of their last 6 games. Playing from in front was a familiar theme early in the season when the Tribe had a lot of success. As Dribble Cabrera will grab the pop-up off the bat of David Lowe for out number 1. Once again, let's go downstairs. Here's Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, I spoke with Sandy Alomar Jr. today, and he told me it's been an adjustment becoming the manager. He said you got to be on top of everything. He feels like he's been directing traffic 24/7. He's talking to players, talking to the media, looking at matchups, going over the numbers. In the middle of his list, he stopped, looked at me, and said, you know what? I used to work out 6 days a week and get a decent amount of sleep, and ever since receiving that phone call on Thursday, he hasn't been able to do either one of those.
Well, hard to do at the end of the year, but he can certainly get used to it, I'm sure, if anything happens and he comes back next year.
Well, that's a good point, Rick, because, you know, if it happens in the offseason, you're named manager, you have time to prepare, to get ready for it. When it happens midstream like this, there is no time to stop, catch your breath,
no, it's
reorganize.
It's the element of surprise.
Because the game does not stop for anyone. It keeps rolling on, and you've got to go with it or you get ground up.
Yeah, we don't care if you have to work out today. We need the lineup. You got to talk to the media, and your players got to, you got to talk to them. That's the responsibility of becoming a manager, and it certainly takes time. And he'll have no problem. He'll have time for everything. Once you can start anew. Should Sandy come back and is the manager next year, I have total confidence in him.
Top of the order, Gerard Dyson flied to left his first time up. And that's popped out of play.
You know, when you think about it, it happened on an off day. You come in here, you're playing a 3-game series. Your second game lasts for 5 hours. And you're turning around, you're playing a day game. You don't have time to do anything, to talk to anybody, barely get home, lay down and get right back up and come back to the ballpark and wrap up this series, and then you have 3 more to go. I think the toughest part of it he's going to find out is having to deal with the media.
Slow chopper up the first base line. And McAllister wisely grabbed it once it scooted into foul territory. I think the dealing with the media part is all just about time management. And, you know, when you haven't had a chance to kind of prepare your mind and yourself for the season, your daily schedule, it is kind of a, whoa, what, I have to do this now? But when you have an off season and you get into your regular routine, then you know, I've got 15 minutes with the media before each game. And
it's, but it's usually longer than that because the clubhouse is open and he meets him in the dugout, the manager does.
Yeah.
For a while, and then after the game, of course, his presser goes on.
But as Sandy said, you know, dealing with the media was no big deal. It was part of his routine as a player for many, many years. But he said, since I stopped playing, there aren't a lot of media demands for a coach. You know, that people don't line up to ask the first base coach a lot of questions or the bench coach. Once you become the manager, certainly that all changes. 2-out walk to Dyson here in the third. And now Irving Falou will step to the plate.
Well, expect Dyson to be off and running again. He was picked off late last night after he walked late in the ball game. For McAllister, though, out of the 18 stolen base attempts this year, they had caught just 1. That was in his last start. Santana caught 2 guys when he was pitching, so he realizes he's going to be off and running, so going to pay attention to the speedster at first.
up high. And Marson's going to go out for a chat with McAllister with Dyson at first base. Keeping them close. Yeah, Dyson last night was when did he come on?
It was late. It was late in the game. As a matter of fact, the walk came off.
It was in the 11th inning.
It was Allen, I believe.
Yeah, and Cody Allen. Remember, he either had the greatest pickoff move we've ever seen, or a balk that just wasn't called.
No, it was a balk move that wasn't called, I thought. But in turn, it wasn't a balk because it wasn't called. And he was picked off in a situation that you could run. He ended up pinch running for Perez in that game. But another thing it puts another twist to it is it makes you concentrate a little more on him and a little less away from the hitter, and you fall behind, and there's a changeup you have to throw, and that's why he steals it.
His 30th.
So the walk comes back. Walked the wrong guy. Plus, it was a changeup. 2-1. You didn't want to give in and throw the fastball, so Lou called the changeup. And he had to backhand it, and not a good pitch to throw on, so that's why he steals a base.
Line drive left field coming on. Jason Donald makes the head-high catch. And that'll end the inning. Middle of the third. It's still Cleveland 1, Kansas City nothing. One nothing. Tribe on top. Bottom of the third. Top of the order for the Indians. Shin-Soo Choo bounced to first his first time up. Did that hit him? It did hit him. John Tumpain awarding him first base. Salvador Perez arguing that it didn't hit him, but Ned Yost wants an explanation. The explanation is the ball hit him. I don't know if Perez is arguing that maybe Choo leaned into it. I don't know what the conversation was, but it just did tick him. Whoa, what?
Yeah, he certainly didn't think so, and he was 60 feet away. Maybe not even that. For Hochevar, that's the 12th guy he's hit this year, though, so no stranger to it.
Line to center field, a base hit for Jason Kipnis, and Chu stops at second. So we'll see if the Indians can put together a rally here in the third. The first two on with nobody out. And our great clip of the game from last night is Dribble Cabrera. The two-run double that tied the game and ultimately sent us on to extra innings. Great clips. It's going to be great. Cabrera was going to bunt. Man, fouls it right back. Look, he was going to try a drag bunt to load the bases
swing the
up.
bat. Let's go. He's the guy in the middle of the lineup that can hit. Swing the bat. Don't bunt. Early in the game, you got a 1-0 lead. Don't give up your bat.
Popped up, back, out of play. And now Cabrera down on the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Now Cabrera down 0-2. With the first 2 aboard here in the third. Outfield deep and a bit toward right. Off the foot.
All right, he has a little protection there, but that was just above it on the shin.
Yeah. Hochevar checks the runner at second base and deals. And Cabrera swats it into the second baseman's chest. Abreu couldn't field it cleanly, and so his only play is at first. That was a tailor-made double play, but it looked like it just ran right up his arm.
Yeah, biggest break right there. Instead of turning 2, you can only get 1. Of course, you can't give an error there because he gets the out. But they could have had 2 for the price of 1. It did take a little hop on him, but he stayed with it. You get the out, and now that'll give Chisenhall an opportunity with runners on second and third to add to a 1-0 lead.
Lonnie Chisenhall, strikeout victim, his first time up. Looks at a ball up high. Way outside. 2-0 the count. Toronto out to an early 2-1 lead over the Yankees in the third inning at the Rogers Center. Baltimore leading Boston 1-0 in the first at Oriole Park. Yankees-Orioles tied for the top spot in the AL East heading into play today. Up and away. It's 3-0. The White Sox and the Tigers will have their games getting underway in just about a half an hour from now. Detroit beginning the day with a 2-game lead over Chicago in the AL Central. Second and third, 1 down, 3-0 pitch with Hanahan on deck. And he catches the outside corner.
It's okay. Now you're ready. Still a great hitting count here to be very selective. Look for a pitch you can drive. Lonnie, a good low ball hitter. Look for something down in the zone.
Up and away, ball 4. And the bases are loaded with 1 out for Jack Hanahan, who blooped a single in the left center his first time up.
Didn't look like he wanted a whole lot to do about Chisenhall, did he?
He
Sure didn't want to go about it.
This is the way it looks heading into today. 3 more games to go after today, but this is a very big Sunday for both the Tigers and the White Sox, because should Detroit win and Chicago loses, then Detroit's already clinched at least a tie, and they could win it with 1 more victory. Baltimore and New York, who knows? That might go down to the final day of the season, the way those 2 teams are playing. And Oakland has snuck up on Texas. The Rangers will have a double header today at home against the Angels, assuming the weather gets better.
After that, head to Oakland to finish the season.
Yeah, that AL West could also come down to the wire. Everything's just about settled in the National League, except that final wild card spot. St. Louis is closing in on that, though. The 1-0 pitch. Hanahan a swing and a miss. Cardinals trying to hold off the Dodgers. LA's within 2. But, of course, St. Louis, they have to feel pretty good about controlling their own fate. Now, they'll finish with Cincinnati, while the Dodgers will finish with the Giants. So those could ultimately be interesting final series, too. Bases loaded, 1 out, 1-1 pitch. Hanahan got a piece, and it's now 1-2. The Taco Bell Browns Red Zone returns Thursday night at 8. Andre Knott, Mary Kay Cabot will have your calls and emails as the Browns get ready to take on the defending Super Bowl champion New York Giants. It's the Taco Bell Browns Red Zone Thursday night at 8 right here on Sports Time Ohio. Hanahan strikes out.
Came back with back-to-back curveballs on him, and really, that's his change of pace. Gets the strikeout he needed. That's
2 down.
The third. Watch, he bounces this one, gets Hanahan to chase it.
So the Tribe's struggles continue with those runners in scoring position. They got a big 2-out RBI hit in the second from Lou Marson. Now they'll look for another one from Brent Lillibridge. Lillibridge 4 for 7 in the series. O'Shaver's going slow, slower, slowest.
Yeah, that's the breaking ball. It's 3 straight. The slider he throws is about 87. That's the curveball at about 75, 76.
Out of play to the right. And it's quickly 0-2. O'Shaver retired the Indians 1-2-3 in the first, but he's had a lot of traffic in the last 2 innings.
Well, that's how they hurt him in that very first start of the year, if you remember. 2-out base hit. It was a bloop to right field, and, on a check swing, and then the floodgates opened up.
And Lillibridge strikes out. The Indians leave him loaded. Woo. 3 complete. 1-0 Cleveland. Luke Hoshaver talking to his manager, Ned Yost.
I think his manager's talking to him. He was able to get out of it, though. A couple of strikeouts with the bases loaded. So the Indians already in this game in 3 innings have left 5 aboard.
Alex Gordon will lead off for Kansas City. Then Billy Butler and Salvador Perez. Gordon taking a strike. Back out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ooh, just missed with that fastball in off the plate. And now a full count. Texas out to a 2-1 lead in the 3rd inning against the Angels in game 1 of their doubleheader. Gordon broke his bat, and it's fouled on the right side.
Yeah, that's almost a must-win doubleheader for the Angels there in Texas in their position because Oakland's still playing so well.
Gordon strikes out, and he's ready to pound himself in the helmet with his bat because he knew he chased one out of the strike zone.
Yeah, he sure did, but that's what I think that fastball set him up inside.
First strikeout for Zach McAllister, 1 down in the 4th. Injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Tigers not sure if Max Scherzer's going to be able to go. It would be for Detroit, it would be great if you knew you were already in the playoffs. You'd just have him resting, and you'd want to get him ready for the postseason. But they need him to make sure they get in the playoffs.
Well, today may be a big day for them. You know, if he's not going to pitch today and they can still win, that may be, that may be a big bonus for them where they could keep him out and then bring him back if needed in the playoffs.
Nice grab.
There you go, giving it to the little girl.
Billy Butler sends one high in the air to left. Jason Donald. 2 down. The minor league report comes to you courtesy of University Hospitals. Nick Weglars this year batted .239 with 58 runs batted in at 22 doubles. The Canadian product is his biggest problem to this point in his career is just keeping himself healthy, staying on the field for a full season. Fouled right back.
Well, you see where McAllister's trying to go here with Perez. You remember his last at-bat, he hit that breaking ball that was about a foot off the ground and off the plate the last time up. That's after he threw the first fastball in for a strike, so you figured he was looking for a breaking ball away. There it is, fastball away.
Perez chops it up the middle. Cabrera cuts it off. and throws him out. KC goes 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Indians 1, Royals nothing. One nothing. Indians on top, bottom of the fourth inning. Casey Kochman, Lou Marson, Jason Donald due up for the Tribe. Casey and Marson each had hits their first time up. And Hoshaver misses inside for ball one.
Well, the Indians in this series, when you want to break it down, with runners in scoring position, they have had 43 opportunities. They are 10 for 43. On the other hand, Kansas City 7 for 15. So they've had a third less chance, 2/3 less chances. 106 at bats for the Indians, 43 with runners in scoring position, which comes out 41% of their at bats are coming with guys out there in scoring position.
One hop smash right to Falou at shortstop. And Kochman out number one. Let's send it back to the Hyundai Studios right now for an in-game update with Dave Chudowski.
Matt, Rick, important game in Baltimore against the Red Sox. A 3-run first. Jim Thome going the opposite way to beat the shift. An RBI single to make it 3-0. And the Yankees are losing right now. The Orioles are winning, so that's important. Orioles up 3-0. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave. Hoshaver deals, and it's fouled out of play by Lou Marson, who has driven in the only run of this game so far.
Send along our birthday wishes. Vic Burke is turning 99. Mark Stotzer of Pacific Grove, California, 61. And Sarah Goldman of Parma Heights, 44. Happy birthday to each and every one.
Two balls and a strike for Marson. That goes foul up the third base line. Even up at 2-2. Luke Hoshaver had 60 pitches on the days, thrown 40 of them for strikes. And Marson is out looking. 2 down. 5 strikeouts on the day for Hoshaver.
Well, you can see they're sitting up inside, and he's going to get that breaking ball, and it comes right down. That slider started it right off the plate in there, and it stayed right there and comes down and locks up Marson.
Jason Donald fly to right on the only pitch he saw in the second inning. Hoshaver trying to retire the Indians 1-2-3 for the second time. And he will. And he has struck out a half dozen Indians through the 4 innings, but the Indians hold a 1-0 lead. With 17 locations in Northeast Ohio. By Levin's, home of the Sealy Posturepedic mattress made right here in Northeast Ohio. By Kia, Cleveland.com. And by First Merit Bank.
All right, back here, Indians with a 1-0 lead going into the top half of the 5th inning. Due up for Kansas City is Moustakas, Francoeur, and Lowe. Zach McAllister, second start in a row where he's been very good. He's only allowed 1 hit to this point. First breaking ball misses. Moustakas popped up to shortstop in his first at-bat. And he's going to do it again to center field here. Lillibridge makes a catch. 1 out. The Indians with 4 hits on the day, getting their run with a 2-out single by Lou Marson, have left 5 stranded. There's only been 2 base runners for Kansas City. Now Francoeur popped up to left in his first at-bat. You can see in the series 2 for 11. Fouled that one straight back. As we mentioned earlier, Francoeur, a guy that Kansas City may be able to deal this offseason, looking for pitching, starting pitching. That is yet to be seen, but a right-handed bat this year, not quite the year he had the year before, but a guy that's been a good influence in that Kansas City clubhouse and helped a lot of those young kids, become big league players. Again, a shattered bat. Grounded to short. Cabrera sucks it up over to first. 2 outs. He did that in last night's ball game and ended up getting a double. This one shatters the bat. I'll tell you, you better check the wood. He's got a lot of firewood this offseason. That was a 2-seamer running in, and you can see it just split the barrel of that bat. And it's a ground ball to short. He did that in the second inning last night, as I mentioned, and got a double. This time, Cabrera sucks it up and throws him out at first base. 2 outs. David Lowe, the hitter, swung at the first pitch in his first at bat and popped up to short. Last night, speaking of, listen to that ball. It was hollow. See, he didn't have as much. He didn't have any barrel left in that bat, but that stayed inside the bag at third base and went for a double. Lowe's going to pop up, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for McAllister. Good job on 9 pitches in the inning for Big Zach. So he's through 5, allowing just 1 hit. The Indians have a 1-0 lead.
Bottom of the 5th inning, Indians with a 1-0 lead. Top of the order for the Tribe, Chu, Kipnis, and Cabrera. Hoshaver with a big curveball down low, 1-0. Chu hit by a pitch.
Barely.
Though technically was grazed by a pitch. 1-1. I don't recall Hoshaver doing a better job at changing speeds than he has today against the Indians.
More curveballs. That one right there was a changeup.
A little bit low. Not by much, 2-1.
You know, when he throws that fastball, and even his sliders at 87, 88 miles per hour, so everything has been hard, but you see what happens when he backs off.
Lined over the head of Butler down into the right field corner. Chu on his way to second. Francoeur digs it out, and Chu holds there with a leadoff 2-bagger, and that's double number 43 for Chu.
First extra base hit today for the Indians, and again, he's going to work out of that stretch, and he is going to struggle. Last inning, he had the 1-2-3. There's the slider coming straight down right into Chu's wheelhouse. Drilled it down into the corner. So see if they can take advantage now and add to a 1-0 lead with the leadoff double. They have the top of the lineup up. The guys who you want up there in this situation.
Jason Kipnis base hit his last time up. Oh, Chu bolts for third, and he's going to go in safely. That was simply botched, I think, by Hoshaver.
Yes.
Because Falou moved in behind Chu, and they had him dead to rights. But Hoshaver decided to go home first instead of going to second.
Yeah, watch it. See, they had the pick play on. And you can see Perez not even going to throw it, who's got a terrific arm. Hoshaver missed it. So now you steal a base. You don't have to move him over. But Chu with his 21st. Watch him sneak in. He was supposed to do that little turn move and throw. And that's the one time it would have worked, but the pitcher doesn't do it. He doesn't get the sign from the catcher and deliver the ball to home plate. So Chu gets the stolen base and infield in with nobody out.
Kipnis bangs it foul, first base side.
You know, that's a rarity. A lot of times the managers wait till there's one out before they bring the infield in. But with nobody out, he's going to take his chances.
Hoshaver's 0-2. Kipnis, long fly ball deep down the right field line. Frank Core won't get it. It goes over the fence on a hop into the bullpen for a ground rule double. And that will score Chu. Kipnis, RBI number 76. His 21st double. And the Indians now lead it 2-0 on back-to-back two-baggers here in the fifth.
Well, he had Jason down 0-2. And let's look at the pitch. It's going to be a curveball. See, if it was down, it was definitely middle of the plate. It was down around the knees, but Kipnis put a good swing on it. And he will get Chu in. 2-0 Indians lead.
Now it's Drupal Cabrera 0 for 2. Now he
Hit
turns.
her too late. Hit her too late.
Up high. Ball 1 to Cabrera. Did he go around? He did not. And the count 2-0. Boy, for the struggling Chicago White Sox, it couldn't have started much worse. They're up against David Price, and they've already given up 2 runs to Tampa in the top of the first inning.
Yeah.
B.J. Upton clobbering a 2-run homer for the Rays.
Quintana starting that game, the left-hander.
It's a pop foul. Look out here, and it's over the dugout into the seats.
Yeah, that wind blowing in from right field, so that's going to help that ball get into the seats if it's close. Yeah, their days could be numbered.
Hoshaver checks the runner a couple of times. Cabrera bunts it. Oh, what a great bunt. No play. It'll be an infield hit for Cabrera. Kipnis goes to third. He wanted to do that earlier in the game. In fact, it was his last time up.
Yeah, but with first and second and nobody out, I'd like him swinging the bat. This time, he lays a bunt down, and Hoshaver couldn't get it. And it sort of fools Moustakas there, and he was just going to get the runner over to third base. But he gets the bonus and gets a base hit.
And so the Indians have runners at the corners with nobody out, and a chance to really break it open now. Lonnie Chisenhall coming up. He has struck out and walked. low, ball one. Down and in, 2 balls, no strikes. This is another chink in Luke Hoshaver's armor on the year. The opposition's hit .308 against him with runners in scoring position. The Indians already 3 for 7 today.
Well, and he's had to dodge a few bullets along the way,
yes,
too.
Has.
I mean, yeah, he's one guy. As I mentioned, he's a guy that when he's not on, he's had 10 starts this year, Matt, where he's allowed 9 runs, 8 runs, 3 times 7, a couple of times 6, 3 times 5. And, you know, the Indians have had opportunities. They're not done yet. They could have a big inning here with nobody out.
Chisenhall fouling it over toward the Royals dugout.
I mean, you cannot do that. 1/3 of the time out of your 30 starts, go out there and give up that many runs. There has to be some consistency going on. And I'll tell you what, that's what's going on, too, with the Indians. Justin Masterson has had that happen to him this year. Jimenez, where they go out there and it's a ton of runs.
2-2 fouled away. Sandy Alomar has his club in front 2-0, looking for more. First and third, nobody out. 2-2 pitch coming to Chisenhall. And he strikes him out for the second time today.
That's number 7.
Well, and I'm sure, you know, we've had other people who don't follow the Indians, but are baseball guys and follow other teams. They come in and ask us about Jimenez, probably the same way we look at Hoshaver and ask the Royals about him. You see the stuff. You see the 7 strikeouts, the fastball, the curveball. You see the stuff, and you look at the numbers and you think, why is this guy 8-15 with an ERA fast approaching 6? It doesn't seem to make sense. But
when you watch him every 5 days and you watch him go out there, they understand why.
Hanahan ropes it down the right field line. Scoring is Kipnis. Cabrera on his way to third, going to be waved around, now stopped. As Hanahan rolls into second base with an RBI double, and it's a 3-0 Indians lead.
Yeah.
That ball was scorched by Jack Hanahan.
He got Hanahan with the breaking ball his last at-bat on the strikeout with a runner in scoring position, if you remember. But this time he just tried to throw him one up there to get ahead of it. And he bounced it with strike 3 the last time, but watch him hang this one. Oh, no, that's not going to work. He's been looking for that pitch since the last time he swung at the one in the dirt, saying, please come back with that curveball. He did, and he smoked it down into the corner. So he drives in the run from third, and Cabrera goes, and you still have second and third.
And the Royals bring that infield in with 1 out. Brent Lillibridge 0 for 2.
I don't know if anybody's warming up, but this could be his last hitter because he's been in trouble.
That's pitch number 85 for Hoshaver.
Again, he got Lillibridge to end the inning with the strikeout as well with the breaking ball.
Missed inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Able to hold up, and it's 3-0. Casey Kochman waits on deck. Taking all the way, that's a strike, 3-1. Cabrera at third, Hanahan at second. Infield in for Kansas City. Outfield over toward right. And it's ball 4. The bases are loaded. Casey Kochman, 1 for 2 on the day, will be the batter here. Hoshaver deals, and Kochman bangs it to first. Butler to second. No, I don't think they got him. He's safe at first, and they call him out at second. Boy, that was very close to coming off the bag. Irving Falou, they get the force out. Second out of the inning. Indians get a run. It's 4-0. Well, I tell you what, I think they were lucky to get an out there. Butler's throw, not exactly ideal for Falou.
Well, there's a double play ball, but Butler is normally. Oh, my God. You talk about the neighborhood play?
That's not even close.
That's not even the same zip code. Watch, he's nowhere near the base when that.
Oh,
not
that's
even close. They give it to him, though. Could you imagine if they turn that double play and they give him that one?
Missed inside, ball 1. I mean, the neighborhood plays one thing, but that was.
No, that wasn't.
Huh?
Like I said, different zip code.
Marson takes outside. He's the 8th man to bat in the inning. Two and one the count for Lou Marson. Hit off the end of the bat toward first. Count evens up 2-2. Baltimore pasting Boston 5-0 in the third inning. Toronto leading New York 4-1. So if those scores were to hold up, Baltimore would take over the top spot by a game in the AL East, knocking New York out and knocking them back into a wild card spot. Detroit, Minnesota scoreless in the second. Tampa Bay leading the White Sox 2-0. They're in the bottom of the first in Chicago. Here's the 2-2, and Lou fouling it back. A little bit inside, now a full count. Fouled right back. Hoshaver has walked 2 and hit a batter. He has struck out 7. And the Indians have touched him for 8 hits. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat and the 98th pitch of the game.
And the 32nd of this inning.
Ooh. Kochman will take off at first, and the payoff. Ball 4. He's walked his second in the inning, and the bases are loaded again. And the 9th man to bat in the inning is Jason Donald.
Well,
and
there
Ned
goes.
Yost deciding to tell Dave Island, all right, let's get the bullpen up and going.
Wow, it's hard to believe that there's nobody up to this point. The way he has been struggling to get through it.
I don't know if it's one of those situations, Rick, where, he wants to see Hochevar if he can fight his way through the inning.
Yeah, and with last night using 9 pitchers, that could be it. Tiford, who.
One of the only guys that didn't pitch last night.
Because he pitched the night before 3 innings.
Hit him. Indians get another run, 5-zip. Second hit batter of the game. And Ned Yost is ready to tear his hair out right now because Hochevar has just simply imploded in this inning.
Second guy today he has hit on this pitch. He got Chu. There's the curveball. It gets away. Take one in the back. Take one for the team. Get yourself an RBI. It's a 5-0 game.
Chu started the inning with a double. He stole a base and came around to score. And now takes a strike. This year, Chu is just 3 for 14 in bases loaded situations. And now he's down to the count 0-2. And a one-hopper up the middle, a base hit. That's going to score Kochman. Here comes Marson, and Donald stops at third. Shin-Soo Choo with a 2-run single with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. And that's the knockout punch on Luke Hochevar. The Indians now lead it 7-0, and the rout is on.
Well, an 0-2 pitch. And there it goes, away, and Chu just it looked like a little changeup. Down and away, stayed on it, ripped it to left center field. Hochevar, another start where he's given up at least 7 runs for the 4th time this year.
Well, remember, the Indians started this season against Hochevar with a 7-run first inning. And the last time they faced him, they hit him with a 6-run final inning here in this 5th. We got a timeout. 7-zip Cleveland. Well, the Indians have blown it open here with 6 in the 5th. They lead it 7-0. Everett Tiford, the new pitcher for Kansas City, 18th appearance on the season. Everett Tiford in the first game of the series went 3 innings out of the bullpen and allowed 2 runs on 6 hits. Jason Kipnis, an RBI double his first time up in this inning. He's 2 for 3 on the day, and Luke Hoshaver left to ponder his future. Will it be with the Royals or somewhere else?
It's a very similar line he had the first time he faced him. Today 4 2/3, but the first time 4 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He had more strikeouts today. He had 7. But to this point, 7 runs as well in 4 2/3 innings.
A little bit outside. Too low, and the bases are loaded again. With 2 down, Asdrubal Cabrera will be the batter. Tomorrow night, after Chuck's last call, join Jim Donovan, Tony Grossi, and Coach Sam for the GMC Berea Report. They'll provide the latest news and injury updates from Berea. That's following Chuck's last call right here on STO. Royals have made 41 pitches here in the bottom of this 5th inning. Cabrera bunt single. Batting from the left side of the plate. Now hitting right-handed against Tieford, taking a strike. One pitch to Cabrera. High drive, deep left. Back is Gordon. On the track at the wall. It is gone to Souvenir City. A grand slam for Cabrera. What an inning for the Indians. A 9 spot here in the 5th. Make it 10.
Why not? The salami for Cabrera. He was sitting up there waiting for it. He got his pitch, and boy, he did some damage. How about Chu has 2 hits in the inning with a couple of ribbies? Cabrera now with 2 hits and 4 RBIs in the inning. His 16th of the season, 2nd career grand slam, and there it was, middle in. He knew it as soon as he hit it. A 10-run inning for the Tribe.
Lonnie Chisenhall takes a strike.
This is what, the 13th guy to hit in the inning.
Well, that's funny you mentioned that. The top 3 guys, Chu, Kipnis, and Cabrera, have scored 6 runs in this inning.
I know it. They're 5 for 5 and a walk. So you close the book on Hoshaver. He gave up 9 of the 11.
And that's fair behind the bag. Butler, underhand flip. And that's the final out of the inning. But what an inning it was for the Tribe. 10 runs, capped by the grand slam by Cabrera.
An area Subway restaurant to pick up your Wahoo Bucks $5 discount coupons for the Subway Extreme Fan Zone to an upcoming home game. It's the place to be for a chance to win Subway gift cards, Indians fun money, and get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat.
Back here, top of the 6th inning, the Indians with a 10 spot in the bottom half of the 5th. Zach McAllister has got to be thrilled. The Indians did it 2 times last year. They scored 10 runs. They did it once in April at Seattle. They did it once in May at Kansas City, both on the road, capped off by Cabrera's 2nd career grand slam and his 16th home run on the year. And it's 11-0 Indians lead. So McAllister will go back out there. He's only given up 1 hit on the afternoon. It'll be Abreu, Dyson, and Falou. McAllister has been on cruise control today, thrown very well. Change up, a good fastball mixed in with his breaking pitch. He is at 65 pitches here in the 6th inning, which is very good. For the Royals, yesterday and today, their leadoff hitters in an inning, 0 for 17 with 2 walks. So they haven't been able to get their leadoff man aboard, except twice. One time he was picked off. So McAllister, the 2-2 pitch on a breaking ball to Kipnis. Fields it, goes to first, out number 1. All right, we got an update coming. Dave, what do you got for us, pal?
We're going to head out to Toronto, Rick. Yankees in Toronto, a 3-run fifth. Brett Laurie off Phil Hughes' 2-run homer to make it 4-1. Now it's 5-1, and Baltimore's up 5-1. So if it stays the same, Yankees back a game. Back to you.
Can you believe that? Would you believe they're going to be the wild card and Baltimore win the division? I think a lot of people would like that. McAllister back into the strike zone. Strike 1, yeah, with 3 games to play. We mentioned that Baltimore will play the Tampa Bay Rays for the following 3, and the Yankees will take on the Red Sox. So that is going to be fun to watch. But they have to finish the action today. McAllister on the 1-1 pitch. Strike 2, fouled off by Dyson. Flew out to left in his first at-bat. He walked in the 3rd, also stole a base. His 30th stolen base of the year. But right now, stolen bases and everything doesn't mean a whole lot to Kansas City, down 11. Yeah, he was safe. He beat it out. He got down the line very well. Hanahan thinking it's going to be a nice routine play, but this kid can run, and he didn't jog down there. He got after it. It's going to be a base hit. Look at, he can't believe it. He's a little surprised, but he was running out of the batter's box, fielded it, took his time, gathered himself to throw, and look at that. Dyson beats it out at first base, and he did too. Tim McClellan right on the call. That'll go as an infield single. Hey, in an 11-0 ball game, when you're a young player and you go down the line like that, that's good hustle. He got himself a base hit. So Falou now down 0-1. I'd like to have a stopwatch on the time it took Dyson to go from home to first, and I'll guarantee it was under 4 seconds. My guess is it's going to be about 3.8 on that ball. We'll see if we can get it. Murph will get it for us. 0-2 pitch by McAllister. Change up in the dirt. 3.8 right on it. Hey, Murph, I told you I'd have it. 3.8 from the left side. That's a little feel right there. He got down the line in a hurry. Another off-speed pitch. Now 2-2 for McAllister.
Done a little research here.
Well, okay, we got a ground ball to second base by Abreu and an infield single where Dyson got down the line in 3.8 seconds to beat it out on a routine grounder.
You're telling me that's fast?
That's pretty quick.
Kipnis to second. They get one, and Cabrera had a tough time getting out of the way of the speedy Dyson, and he
catches a cleat.
Yeah, he got banged on the leg, the right leg.
Well, his job is to go down there and take the feet out from under Cabrera. You know, it was the bat exploded, so there wasn't enough on it. Kipnis gave him the quick flip, and Dyson gets down there in a hurry and catches a little bit of Cabrera's, looked like right ankle.
Runner takes off, and that's fouled back. The last time the Indians had a 10-run inning here at home was against the Royals 6 years ago. Well, and they scored 11 in the first inning of that game.
Okay, I remember that one. But I gave you another note where last year they scored 10 at Kansas City, May 16th. They did it twice last year, once in Seattle, early in April when we were first there, and then also at Kansas City. But the Indians, over the years, they play the Royals an awful lot, have done a lot of damage to the Royals.
Falou takes off. They just let him go.
Yeah, he was behind him. That's indifference. Again, McAllister pounding the strike zone. 78 pitches. 48 of them have been strikes.
Well, you talked about it. He hadn't won since early August.
Yeah, 11th.
I think he's looking pretty good here.
Yeah, I like it. You know, that 10 runs certainly helped, but you know, this is going to be his last start, so he can end the year on a positive note.
More importantly than the offensive support is the fact that he's throwing a 2-hit shutout.
Right.
I mean, he's doing his job and doing it very well. This will be his 80th pitch of the day. And you know what? Much like Ned Yost, I'm sure Sandy Alomar was kind of hoping McAllister could give you some innings because everybody out of that bullpen's been used a lot here in the last couple of days.
A little tired.
Short turnaround and everything.
Well, no matter how you look at it, next year McAllister certainly is going to be in the running for the rotation, depending on what happens in the offseason. He's been up here, you know, for most of the year. You remember that start he got in May against the White Sox, game of a doubleheader. It's his 22nd start. So he has had an opportunity to go out there and prepare himself every day for the big leagues. And adjustments, yes. He learned a lot. I'm sure he did.
The 1-2 to Gordon.
Uh-oh.
Drilled deep and gone. Alex Gordon with his 13th home run of the year. RBIs number 70 and 71. It gets Kansas City on the scoreboard, and it's 11-3 or 11-2 Cleveland.
Okay, gets him on the board. McAllister gives up his 19th home run. And this is, you give him up, might as well give him up. That was a good one, high and long. Yeah, he's just going to sit and watch this one. And the fan made a nice catch there with the glove. So the Royals are on the board here in the 6th inning.
The 2-0 to Butler. Catches the outside part of the plate. Three balls and a strike. 2 down here in the 6th inning.
When you go back and you think about this inning, it's Dyson who was the fly in the ointment. He beat out an infield single. It was a routine play to hand-to-hand. He took his time. Dyson hustled down the line, and he beat it out. You know, you figure it's going to be an at-bat as McAllister walks Butler. And the next thing you know, a little ground ball, he hustles a second. They don't turn the double play, then a home run. They're on the board because one guy hustled in an 11-0 ball game. Well, you can take advantage of our brand new customizable season ticket holder benefits package. It's called Tribe Rewards. You can spend points on experiences like throwing out a first pitch, or you can attend a pregame press conference. You can call 216-420-HITS if you would like more information.
Well, that's a good point you make there because, you know, for Dyson in an 11-0 game,
it's easy to just
you
cruise.
Say, you put your head down and say,
you don't see it in the box score. The people that'll appreciate it are the guys down in there in that dugout. They may not win, but I'll tell you what, that you see what guys are made of when you're down. You're getting
your
beat.
Lunch handed to you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You're getting your lunch handed to you. I'll tell you what, you go down there, you hustle at all. That's all it takes. It's not asking for much. You know what? It may not turn the game around, but it caused McAllister a shutout.
A pinch hitter here for Salvador Perez, Manny Pena. Perez was behind the plate for 11 of those innings last night.
Yeah.
I was almost a little surprised to see him back in there today.
You know, at this point in time in September, you don't know with all the rosters of what's happening, where they're going. They're going back home to play Detroit.
Right. They finish at home.
So, yes.
The 0-2, one hopper to Cabrera. He'll go to second. That'll end the inning. Royals get on the board. Alex Gordon's 2-run homer cuts the gap to 9. Indians up 11-2. All right, back here at Progressive Field, Indians up 11-2. And defensively, a bunch of changes for Kansas City. Manny Pena, who pinch hit for Perez, stays on at catcher. Johnny Giavotella takes over at second base, and Abreu goes over to third. So Mike Moustakas, his day done.
Trying to get some of those guys out of there that have been playing every day.
Jack Hanahan, 2 for 3, a single and a run scored in the second inning, and then an RBI double and a run scored in the fifth. Broken bat bouncer, and it's through. So Jack Hanahan has himself a 3-hit afternoon. And the Indians get their leadoff man aboard. Our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Lou Marson, a 2-out RBI single in the second, gave the Indians a 1-0 lead. It stayed that way until the fifth, and then they blew it open. Shin Soo Choo with a 2-run single made it 7-0, and Asdrubal Cabrera capped a 10-run inning with a grand slam. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available at buyatoyota.com. Brent Lillibridge 0 for 2 with a walk. Jeremy Jeffress up now in the KC bullpen. Tieford goes to second. There's one on to first. A double play. Let's get the answer to the AT&T trivia question.
What was it?
Only pitcher to lead the league in saves 4 straight years. Was it Quisenberry from Kansas City?
Let's go with that.
Yeah, the Q.
Well, those were the years. The man from down under. Great closer for the Royals.
Gone too early. He passed away on this date in 1998, Redbird told me.
Oh, yeah? That was sad. He was in there through their heyday, and, you know.
Line drive, base hit for Casey Kochman. He's got his second hit of the day. That's the second hit of the inning for the Indians, and they have got their hitting shoes on once again. That's a dozen hits in the game for the Tribe.
Well, the two left-handers get the base hits, and he got the double play off the bat of the right-hander. .38 hits in the series for the Indians.
Jeremy Jeffress, you see him getting loose.
Last time we faced him, that was that getaway day in Kansas City, wasn't it? The 15-4 game.
That was
Came
just
in
last
late.
Sunday. That was a week ago, wasn't it?
Maybe in a different month. It seems like it was a long time ago, but yes, it was. Last Sunday.
Slowly chopped to third. Bare hand grab, no. Abreu couldn't grab it cleanly. And a third hit in the inning for the Indians. Not much of one. But for Lou Marson, he'll take him any way he can get him.
Line drive in the paper tomorrow.
Yeah, he's got 2 knocks today. An RBI and a run scored. He's also walked.
This is like pretty much like the game on Friday. Everything they hit seemed to find a hole or just out of reach, and they're back at it again. An infield single for Marson. So they have 3 singles in the inning. They'll give Donald an opportunity who doesn't have a hit on the day. And there's only 2 Indians that do not. No, make that 3. Donald is 1, Lillibridge, and Chisenhall.
Donald was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in the 5th and got an RBI. Also came around and scored. Swung on and missed. Oh, and 2 the count. That doesn't seem possible. Donald strikes out to end the inning. The Indians have had 50 at-bats in this series with a runner in scoring position.
No doubt.
Progressive Field, the Indians on top, the Royals 11-2. Remember, you've got 3 more days to come out and see the Tribe play. The Indians have those great transportation options available for you the rest of the week. And then if you're thinking about coming to spring training out to Arizona next year, they've got travel packages online for you right now. Whatever you have for your schedule, they've got a travel package for you. Log on to Indians.com and check it all out now. Guys, back up to you.
Thanks, Katie. Johnny Giavitello will lead off here in the 7th inning for Kansas City. He took over for Mike Moustakas, at least in the batting spot. And Mike Moustakas, they tell us, left the game with a groin problem, left groin tightness. So Giavitello going in at second base, and then they took Abreu and moved him over to third. Line drive, right field, Chu plays back on it. And a leadoff single. Tampa Bay still leading Chicago 2-0 in the 4th inning. Twins and Tigers are scoreless in the 4th in Minnesota.
I understand in that Minnesota game, Mauer 2 for 2 early. Cabrera doesn't have a hit yet, so there's only 3 points separating those guys when it comes to the batting average.
I know it's only 4 innings, but the Tigers only have 1 hit so far in that game. But you're right, that Triple Crown race getting interesting with games dwindling.
What, they're tied in the home runs. He has a lead in all 3.
Yep.
That's awesome. 1967, the last time anybody, and that was Carl Yastrzemski.
Fouled back. Blue Jays lead the Yankees 5-2 in the 7th, and Baltimore cruising over Boston 6-1.
Could you imagine if Baltimore wins that division and then the Yankees have to play the wild card? And just throw it out there. What happens if Oakland wins that wild card? They had some battles this year. I think they had 7 straight one-run games.
Yeah.
I know it. I know it.
That'd be one you'd want to watch. That'd be one you wouldn't want to miss.
I know.
Boy, I would just really, really feel just terrible for the Yankees if they have to plan a one-game playoff.
Well, they're coming back. It's still early. It's 5-3 now in the 7th inning.
Frank Cora, swing and a miss, and that's just the second strikeout of the game from McAllister. But that is out number one here in the seventh, and that's also why he's able to pitch a little bit deeper into the ball game. You know, sometimes the strikeouts they look fancy on the score sheet, but the stat sheet, but they eat up a lot of your pitches too.
Yeah, yes. You know, when guys foul off a lot of pitches, give me a guy that can get pitches, their hitters out on 3 or less pitches, pitch to contact. It certainly helps. Keeps you in the game a lot longer. Of course, that's not going to happen all the time because McAllister's a high fastball pitcher. So he will get strikeouts. He'll get a lot of foul balls. But he's going into the seventh there, which is nicely done.
100th pitch of the day coming up here as David Lowe 0 for 2 takes aim. By the way, Mike Pachta telling me that Derek Jeter, with 2 hits today in that game for the Yankees against Toronto, he's at 3,300 now in his career.
Wow.
High pop, foul ground. Kochman fighting the sun. Makes the catch. Boy, 2 hands on it. And it will bring up Tony Abreu. Yeah, you could see Kochman. I mean, all the way into the glove, he was fighting that sun.
Coming into the ballpark today, you could see the storms right over the lake. Didn't know what was going to happen. It was raining.
There was no sign of the sun, that's for sure.
And I'll tell you what, it's bright blue skies up there right now, which is a nice sight on the last day of September. Beautiful sight.
Yeah, beautiful way to close out the month of September. Beautiful way to close it out on the scoreboard, too. Well, the 10-run inning back in the 5th for the Indians. One ball, 2 strikes. Over in the National League playoff picture, St. Louis beating Washington 5-0. They're in the 3rd inning. Dodgers will be in action later today. The Dodgers' faint playoff hopes still alive but flickering. They're 2 games behind St. Louis for that final wild card spot in the National League. Cardinals, though, they control their own destiny if they just win out. Abreu with a liner toward left, and that will be a 2-out RBI hit, and it's 11-3. Abreu gets his 15th RBI. And here comes Sandy Alomar, so that might be it for McAllister.
Oh, yeah. He gave him an opportunity to get out of the 7th. He doesn't do it, so Sandy will go to his bullpen.
So Zach McAllister goes 6 2/3 innings, allows 3 runs in his final start of the regular season. A fine job here today, backed by the Indians offense. He's headed for the win column. 11-3, Tribe on top. Royals have a runner at first with 2 down. And Tony Sipp on for the 62nd time this year.
Tony pitched an inning in last night's game with zeros across the board. And Tony, his year has not been as sharp as we've seen him in the past. 48 strikeouts in his 52 1/3 innings.
For Zach McAllister, it's his longest start since his last win back on August 11th against Boston. Down in the dirt. In the dirt again. 2-0.
For Tony this year, you know, the left-handers, he's done a nice job overall when you look at it. They're hitting 230 of them. Left-handers just 217. But they've done a good job with runners in scoring position. He's given up 9 home runs this year. And in 52 innings, that's a lot.
Well, as you've said many times before, every year is different. You know, it'd be nice to say, well, this guy's going to do X this year because of what he did the previous year. But you just never know until you get out there. And some guys get on a bad streak and they can't shake their way loose. I mean, he went through a stretch there where it just seemed like every time out he'd give up a big hit every time.
Managers, they like sort of veterans out of that bullpen, the guys that they pretty much know they can count on for a majority of the year. Certainly, it's not going to go smooth all year long. You're going to have ups and downs. And, you know, in defense of that bullpen in the second half, they've really had to log a lot of innings because the starters haven't given back then Maniac to, you know, the innings that needed.
5 innings a start will do that
for you. And not only 5 innings, but you're giving up 6-7 runs where you had no chance to come back in the game. So this bullpen has really had to eat up a lot of tough innings this year.
High fly ball, deep right. Back is Chu, fighting the sun, makes the catch. So the Indians watch Kansas City get a run back, but the Tribe comfortably in front by a score of 11-3 as we've reached the 7th inning stretch. And time now for the playing of God Bless America. And here to do that is a group known as the Singing Angels.
At this time, please rise and join the Singing Angels in singing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. To the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountains and prairies and on to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America.
Very nicely done. We've reached the 7th inning stretch here at Progressive Field, and it's brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic's free walking program, Let's Move It, Mondays at Progressive Field and the Metro Park Zoo. Visit letsmoveit.org for more information. Get a look in from our Panini's camera. Stop by and get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. Bottom of the 7th inning. And Jeremy Jeffress now on to pitch for KC.
Pena goes in at first base, gives Butler the rest of the afternoon off. Chu going to hit for the 5th time today.
And the 15th time in the series.
Yeah. Well, they've had a ton of hits. "39 hits in the series."
Chu wraps it right back to the mound. And one down. For every home run hit this year by the Indians, Rick and I each make a donation of $5 to the Gathering Place, while Great Clips donates $50 per dinger. And thanks to the Grand Slam by Asdrubal Cabrera, we've topped $8,000 for the year. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. Think he missed his target a little bit there?
Just a bit.
You could see Pena. He had that glove low and right down near the outside corner, and he was up over his head to the backstop.
Well, this is one of those guys, a young pitcher that may have good stuff, but control is an issue. "12 walks in 12 innings pitched."
And that's too high. Ball 4. Jason Kipnis draws his 2nd walk of the game. Well, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And Asdrubal Cabrera, his grand slam in the 5th inning. He was the 12th man to bat in the inning. And that gave the Indians a 10-run 5th today against Kansas City.
Well, you look at Chu, who started that inning off. He had 2 hits, scored 2 runs, had 2 ribbies. Kipnis had 1 for 2. He scored 2 runs, and he walked. And Cabrera was 2 for 2 with 4 RBIs in his grand slam. They scored 6 of those 10 runs in the inning.
Line drive right field. Francoeur plays it on a hop, and then he misplays it. And Kipnis will go to third. Francoeur's throw. Not quite in time. He made it a lot closer than you thought it was going to be.
Boy, did you see the decoy over there by Abreu, who was standing there like nonchalantly because Kipnis was going to take off after Francoeur missed the ball. I'm sure that'll be a base hit and an error. But watch, he gets to the ball, it goes off his glove. So he gets it and just throws it all the way to third. He has 19 assists.
Flat-footed, he threw it all the way to third.
And look at him. He was trying to decoy him, but he had to sneak out and catch the ball to try and come back to it. So it'll be a single, an error on Francoeur, and everybody moves up, so it's second and third now with 1 out.
Matt Laporta will get an at-bat here. Went too far, 1-1 to count. In Chicago, B.J. Upton hit a 2-run homer early in the first inning, staking Tampa to a 2-0 lead. Then Ryan Roberts homer to make it 3-0. White Sox get on the board on an Alex Rios RBI hit, but it's 3-1 Tampa.
Boy, in the 7th inning, guess what? New York came back.
Yeah, and they just kind of piecemealed it together, too. It looked like Toronto might have been a little sloppy in the field. Not exactly sure all the details, but it's 5-5 in the 7th. Tigers Twins still scoreless in the 5th in Minnesota. Two-1. And Laporta got that right off the bottom, off maybe the knob of the bat.
Runs this one in, and it did. It got the knob of the bat.
2-2 the count. And Laporta lines it down the left field line. That's a fair ball all the way to the wall. 2 more will come home for the Indians, and it's 13-3. On a 2-run double by Matt Laporta.
Well, they tied him up in, and they want that ball in, and Laporta down and in fastball. Then digs it out, hits it to left field, gets it to the wall. That scores Kipnis and Cabrera. So Matt Laporta going to join the hit parade.
Now Jack Hanahan takes a look at a ball down low. White Sox got a sacrifice fly from Diane Viciedo. And they're within a run of Tampa now at 3-2 in the bottom of the 4th inning. So that's big for Chicago to come back and answer after the homer made it 3-0. They get 2 on the board. They've got to feel pretty good now about their chances going later into that game.
Oh, yeah, especially against the big left-hander. Price going against them, no doubt. And definitely you don't want to get to Fernando Rodney. If you do, it's just about over.
Fake chopper to second. Johnny Giavitello will flip it over. And there are 2 down as Laporta goes to third. Brent Lillibridge 0 for 3. And strike 2 call. Lillibridge strikes out, and that'll end the inning. Indians get 2 more, and we'll go to the 8th. 13-3 Cleveland.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
(13-3) Indians on top as we go to the 8th inning. And the Indians with more defensive changes we'll tell you about in a minute. Tony Sipp staying on, got the last out of the 7th. Now it's outside ball 1. Cord Phelps has come into the ball game to take over for Jason Kipnis. So he's at second. Brent Lillibridge has gone from center field into shortstop. Cabrera's day is over. Thomas Neal has come in. He's now in left field. Jason Donald went to center, and Vinny Rottino is now in the game in right field.
Let's take a look at it.
There you
Makes
go.
it a little easier.
You couldn't visualize that in your head?
No, I couldn't. I'm thinking, okay, we got to switch and match. And
say what?
I need the visual, man.
Out of play. One ball and 2 strikes. Broke his bat, rolls to third. Hanahan got rid of it quickly to retire Falou for out number 1. Our highlight reel brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. And Zach McAllister with his longest outing since August 11th, 6 2/3 innings. He allowed just 5 hits, gave up 3 runs. Walked 2, struck out 2. And he's in line for his 6th win of the year against 8 defeats. Alex Gordon, his 2-run homer got Kansas City on the board in the 6th. See that bee buzzing around the umpire?
I didn't.
He was trying to swat it away right as the pitch was coming in.
Who's umping? Murph?
First, Gordon was swatting it away, and then it went and attacked the umpire. That's what Gordon's laughing about right now. The 1-1. He made him mad. He's still there.
He made him mad.
He was going after Gordon again. He was swatting him away.
There he is. You see him?
Yeah, look, the umpire swatted.
Look at we got timeout. You're
That's
giving
unreal.
a blow-by-blow of the bee. Look at they're laughing. Well, somebody smells good. That bee likes somebody.
2-1 pitch. We've had a little bit of everything over the years here, huh? We had the squirrels, midges, bees.
Look at him.
Or is that a moth? That looks more like a moth,
Yeah,
doesn't
it is. That's not a bee.
Went right in his face mask.
It is a moth. Get out of here. Don't bug me.
Sound like a cracked bat. Hanahan sets, throws on the money to get him 2 down. The Mothman wins. Might be the first time in baseball history you've had a Pena and a Pena hitting back-to-back.
Ask Tommy. I'm sure he'll know.
Pena pops it up. Foul and out of play. Now the 2-1. There's a called strike. Evens it up. 2-2. Tigers Twins still scoreless. 6th inning. Each team with 4 hits in that game. And the Rays White Sox. It's a 3-2 Tampa lead in the 5th. He just reached out and punched it by Kochman down the line. Rotino cutting it off quickly. And Brian Pena has a 2-out single. And Michael Pena will get a bat with 2 down here in the 8th. But before all that happens, let's go back to the Hyundai Studios for an in-game update with Dave Chudowski.
Matt, Rick, you were talking about the Yankees earlier. It was a 3-run seventh, and it did get a little ugly. A-Rod scores here on a wild pitch by Aaron Loop. It is 5-5 right now in the seventh, and Baltimore still leads 6-3. So there you have it.
All right, thanks, Judd. Yeah, that's very interesting. The Yankees kind of in almost a must-win mode unless they want to fall back of Baltimore, and you don't want to have to be in chase mode with only 3 games to play. Bang to third. Hanahan will go to second for the inning-ending force. Middle of the 8th, 13-3 Indians. (13-3), Tribe on top, bottom of the 8th inning. Bottom third of the Indians' order coming up. Casey Kochman, Lou Marson, and Jason Donald due up. Ground ball to second base. And Giavotella throws him out, 1 away. In-game box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, who invite you to see the 2012 Sonata. Visit NorthernOhioHyundaiDealers.com. Cabrera, Hanahan each with 3 hits. Kochman, Marson, Kipnis, Chu each with a couple of knocks. Even Matt Laporta pitching in, coming off the bench with a pinch hit 2-run double. Tampa Bay's added a run to their lead. Rays 4, White Sox 2 now. In the hole, perfectly placed. Long, almost throw. Falou back on the outfield grass. Looked like he was going to let it fly and then realized he really had no chance. And Marson's got himself his 3rd hit of the game.
Yeah, the last 2 never leaving the infield. Those are beautiful things. He had a long throw and coming off the bag, Pena just said, no, don't throw it. Don't make a mistake here. You're not going to get him.
It was a pump fake. He was out and up. Go
yeah,
deep.
Okay.
Jason Donald takes a strike. Donald 0 for 3 was hit by a pitch, drove in a run with the bases loaded back in the 5th. And he also came around and scored. Too low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Full count now for Jason Donald with a runner at first and 1 out here in the last half of the 8th. Ned Yost enjoying a little sunshine in this cool fall afternoon here at Progressive Field. Payoff pitch and a base hit in the left field. Lou Marson stops at second, and Jason Donald has his first hit today. 2 on with 1 out, and now Thomas Neal will get his first at bat of the game. Just over 18,000 for the final Sunday game of the season. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights. The Indians and the Chicago White Sox to wrap up the 2012 season. Thomas Neal taking a strike. Neal checked on a ball inside. 1-1. Neal got a piece of that, but he's down in the count now, 1-2. A ball and 2 strikes for Thomas Neal. Indians with 2 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tribe with 13 runs on 17 hits. They exploded for 10 runs in the fifth, their biggest inning at home since they scored 11 runs in an inning 6 years ago against Kansas City. And now Thomas Neal joins the hit parade with a base hit to left field, and they're now loaded up with one out on 3 consecutive singles.
Well, he caught a breaking ball to his liking. Served it into left field. That's 18 hits now for the Tribe. Look, they wanted to try and put him away, and Neal just stayed, kept his hands back with the breaking ball. Gets it in the left. Everybody moves up a base. Now Phelps will get an opportunity.
Fastball called strike over the outside part of the plate. Checked on a called strike. Fastball right on the inside part of the plate at 95. And Jeffress 1 strike away from ending the inning. Or 1 strike away from putting Phelps away. Fights it off and stays alive. And that 1-2 pitch fouled out of play. By the way, that game last Sunday in Kansas City, the 15 runs scored by the Indians, their most this year. And here they are on the verge of potentially doing it again.
Well, they certainly could. Another base hit.
Lays off 2-2.
Well, on today it was the big 10-run fifth inning. Luke Koshaver ended up giving up 9 runs on 9 hits today in 4 2/3 innings.
Up high, full count. And Vinny Rottino waiting on deck for his first at-bat of the game. Jeffress sets. And the payoff pitch. Fouled right back. Trying to think, Rick, how many bases loaded at bats the Indians have had today.
Well, we gave you the number. They have had over 50 at-bats in this series with runners in scoring position, and it's going to continue to add on. They have 55 at-bats with runners in scoring position in the series. That's absolutely crazy.
Phelps with a base hit into right field. Scoring is Marson. Donald will stop at third. And it's 14-3 Cleveland. That's 4 straight singles in the inning. I think the last thing Ned Yost wanted to do is have to make another pitching change, but he's got to get Jeffress because he can't get anybody out.
You sure he has to get him, or is he going to go out there and just... Yeah, he's making the move as we speak. Yeah, another 4 straight singles, 19 hits on the day for the Indians, and they're at 14 runs.
So we've got a timeout with the Tribe on top 14-3. 14-3, the Indians lead it, and Jeremy Jeffress taking a seat on the bench after he allowed 6 hits in an inning and a third. 3 runs already in, and who knows how many more he might be charged with. See if Lewis Coleman can do any better. Vinny Rottino, his first at bat of the game. It comes with the bases loaded here. The Indians are 3 for 6 with the bases loaded in this game. So this is already their 7th at bat with the bases loaded. And that doesn't include, of course, Jason Donald, who was hit by a pitch. Because that doesn't count as an AB, but that's a plate appearance, at least with the bases loaded. Gets away, and another run will score. Jason Donald comes home to make it 15-3, and the Indians have equaled their season high, which they accomplished just a week ago against these same Kansas City Royals.
There you'll see it. Gets by Pena behind the plate. Still just 1 out. Oh, there's 2 outs. I'm sorry.
Strikeout and a wild pitch. I wasn't sure what they were going to rule in there. Pena, I'm not sure if he was crossed up. He just looked like he reacted a little late to that pitch. Now Matt Laporta cracked his bat and fouled it down the left side. Late on the fastball from Coleman. 0-2 with 2 down. And that's a strikeout to end the inning. Indians get 2 more, and we'll go to the 9th. 15-3 Cleveland. All right, here we go now to the 9th inning with the Indians comfortably in front, 15-3. Tribe will go to Frank Herman to pitch the 9th inning. And he'll be facing 6, 7, and 8 in the batting order. Johnny Giavotella, Jeff Francoeur, and David Lowe. Giavotella, a single and a run scored, his only time up in the 7th. Giavatello with a line drive towards center field. A diving catch. What a play made by Jason Donald. Jason Donald getting some action in center field after he started the game in left. And he looked like a seasoned pro going after that fly ball.
Well, he had it timed. He was playing deep. But I'll tell you, once he got running, he knew he had a chance at it. He takes off and picks it up right before it hits the ground on a nice running catch. Diving. There you'll see it. He holds on to it. It's NFL Sunday. It's in the end zone. That's 6 points. That's a good catch.
Jeff Francoeur 0 for 3 in the ballgame. And 2 for 13 in the series, taking a strike. Chase the off-speed pitch. It's 0-2. Just missed the outside corner. Tigers Twins still scoreless in the 7th inning in Minnesota. Tampa Bay pulling away from Chicago 5-2 in the 6th. Conrad's postgame show. We'll have the highlights. And Dave will have the scores of those important pennant race games coming up right after we finish our game here this afternoon. Tomorrow night, it's the Indians and the White Sox. And we'll have it for you on Sports Time Ohio as Corey Kluber will go against Hector Santiago. The way things are going, the Indians could have a chance to officially end the White Sox playoff hopes tomorrow. Francoeur, a swing and a miss. David Lowe for 3. Fouled back out of play. David Lowe takes a strike. And now the count 0-2 with 2 down in the 9th inning. And the Indians up a dozen. Frank Herman's 2-strike pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Backhanded diving stop by Phelps, but he'll have no play on Lowe. And Lowe has a 2-out infield single here in the 9th.
0-2 pitch. He hit it in the right spot. Phelps having a dive for it, but with his speed, you're not going to get up and throw him out.
Now, David Lowe, Green High School and Mercyhurst College, local product here, playing in front of tons of family and friends this weekend. Well, he gets the base hit in his final at bat of this series. Now, Tony Abreu, 1 for 3. Lowe rolls down to second base. Frank Herman fires, and Abreu a swing and a miss. Kansas City will go home to host Detroit. 1-1 pitch. So the situation is, unless something really monumental occurs, the Royals will watch the Tigers clinch in their ballpark, and we'll watch the White Sox
miss out here,
cry here at our ballpark. The 1-2 from Herman. Abreu stays alive. The only bad thing is Ozzie Guillen won't be here as the manager of the White Sox. So many Indians fans still recall him putting the choke sign up and taunting the Tribe fans back in 2005 when they fell short. This has been some kind of collapse for Chicago, though. They're heading for their 9th loss in their last 11 games. Runner at second, 2 down on the 1-2 pitch from Herman. Abreu swings and misses, but he got a piece of it, and it popped out of the glove of Marson. And so the game stays alive.
I mean, you're talking, you could barely hear it. But it was just a little piece that didn't stick into the glove of Marson, so he lives for one more pitch.
Herman takes aim. Again the 1-2. This time it's bounced towards second. Cord Phelps fields, fires, and the game is over. The Indians dole out quite a beating to Kansas City today, winning it by a final score of 15-3, as the Indians have scored 15 runs against Kansas City twice in the last week. Zach McAllister, the beneficiary of all that offensive support, but he really pitched well. He earned his victory here today in his final start of the regular season. So all in all, a good series win for the Cleveland Indians. Time now for our key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
You go back to the 5th inning, and what a 5th inning it was, capped off by a grand slam by Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera is second of his career, 16th home run on the year. That capped off a 10-run 5th inning for the Indians.
Get to a KeyBank branch now and rake in big savings on a car loan or home equity loan during KeyBank's Rake It In loan event. The Indians get their 67th win of the year. Kansas City will go home 71-88 on the season. Royals have already wrapped up the 3rd best record in the AL Central. Indians still fighting Minnesota to stay out of the basement in the division. Let's go downstairs. Katie Witham is standing by with Jack Hanahan.
Well, Jack, 15 runs on 19 hits. You came up with 3 of those. This is after a 14-inning game last night. Obviously, the Indians' bats were not tired today.
No, we came out ready to go and excited, and it's good to get some runs on the board for Big Mac and let him settle down and threw great, and it's good to get a win.
A 10-run 5th inning. What were you guys able to take advantage of?
Just left some balls over the plate that we might have been chasing a little bit early on, but we took advantage of it, and we were patient too, and let them come to us, and we took advantage of it.
You mentioned it. You gave Zach McAllister his 6th win. He went 6 2/3, limited them to just 3 runs. What did you see him do well?
He was mixing it up. Good. He had a good curveball, good cutter. He's got a great sinker, and he stepped up this year, and he's going to be fun to watch in the future. You
guys helped Sandy Alomar get his 2nd win as your manager. You're one of the veterans on this team. How do you feel like Sandy's made the transition so far? He's been great. There's a lot of stress when it comes to being a manager, and Sandy hasn't changed. And that's a big part of it. And guys are excited and to play for him, and he keeps it fun. Absolutely. Jack, congrats. Appreciate the time. Okay. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
All right, thanks, Katie. Great job. Jack Hanahan with a big hand in this one as the Indians trample the Royals 15-3. Back with some final thoughts right after this.